9 News Canberra with Vanessa O'Hanlon.
Good evening. Cory Bernardi made it official today, quitting the Liberals to start his own Conservative party, and he didn't go quietly. He unleashed a barrage of criticism, saying politicians in Canberra were letting the public down, but the response was swift as he was accused of betrayal and hypocrisy.
I seek leave to make a statement not exceeding 5 minutes.
5 minutes to end 25 years as a Liberal and start his own Conservative party.
The ACT government's mid-year budget review has been revealed, and it's good news. A boost to the bottom line of almost $86 million and extra funding for stage 2 of the light rail.
Andrew Barr's re-elected Labor government knuckling down on its promises.
We're very pleased as part of the budget update to get on with the delivery of a number of election commitments.
Let's cross live now to Rosanna Kingston in Canberra. And Rosie, what was the driving force behind the improvement?
Vanessa, the government attributes it to land coming into the Land Development Agency. The Kingston Foreshore project has seen more revenue than expected this financial year. The budget has also benefited from the sale of a government office block opposite the Legislative Assembly. In coming years, the government will instead rent office space in that new building once it's constructed. Vanessa?
Thanks, Rosie Kingston, live in Canberra. After a near record run of hot weather, Sydney was hit today with the flip side of summer, a powerful storm that swept across several suburbs, leaving chaos and flooding in its trail. A month's worth of rainfall fell in just 1 hour, swallowing roads, swamping homes and bringing parts of the city to a complete standstill.
After the heat wave, now we have something else to whinge about.
A 61-year-old man accused of burning down a home in Belconnen has told the court he was out of control. Charged with arson and acts endangering a life, the man will now undergo a mental health assessment.
A house devastated by fire, damages in excess of $400,000.
Slippery conditions have sparked traffic mayhem on Canberra's roads. A 4-car pile-up stalled city-bound traffic on William Hovell Drive, with cars backed up as far as Belconnen. Another collision slowed Barton Highway traffic, while a car rollover on Fairburn Avenue near Campbell caused early morning delays. Weather conditions seem to contribute to the incidents, with heavy rain falling this morning. A vital piece of equipment which monitors blood oxygen levels after children have been in surgery has been donated to Canberra's Centenary Hospital. Fundraising by the LJ Hooker and Humpty Dumpty Foundations led to the purchase of a $4,500 pulse oximeter for the paediatrics ward. Ahead in the news, Hollywood's best and brightest step out in style for the annual Oscars luncheon. A warning on complementary medicine and how much they're really doing for your health. And in sport, former Waratah star Drew Mitchell on what's planned for the future of his career. A lifetime of free travel has been stripped from politicians, with the Prime Minister making the surprise move to scrap the controversial gold pass immediately. The decision follows the damaging travel expenses scandal, which saw Susan Lee resign as Health Minister. There's still a cloud hanging over the future of council mergers in New South Wales. MPs today warning against a backflip on the issue. State politics reporter Chris O'Keefe filed this report a short time ago.
Well, the overwhelming feeling within the Liberal Party is the Premier's proposed backflip on council amalgamations can't happen.
Mike Lorigan is next with Sport. And Mike, the countdown is on ahead of the NRL All-Stars.
Sure is, Vanessa. Not long to go, but there's one person missing. Ben Barber says his final goodbye to the Sharks. We hear Wade Graham's touching farewell tribute, and the Aussies tune up in the desert for a testing time in India. Pride. Wade Graham will feel plenty of it in the Indigenous All-Stars jersey on Friday, but his involvement in the game has come at a cost. Graham missed out on farewelling good mate Ben Barber, but has paid the fullback a touching tribute before he flew out for France.
The All-Stars treated like rock stars in rugby league mad Newcastle.
That's it for sport tonight. Coming up after the break, stay with us. Gavin Morris has all your local weather details.
It's now time to check your weather. Good evening, Gavin Morris.
Thanks, Vanessa, and good evening. Welcome to a close look at your local weather for Canberra and the South Coast. It's actually been quite nice to enjoy the cooler conditions underneath a thick blanket of cloud. Temperatures only maxing out at 17 for Cooma today. Across the nation's capital, 23 degrees, and it was a theme of high teens and low 20s right along the coast. We saw some okay rain from that cloud band, only a couple of millimetres across the ACT. Further north around Goulburn, we had about 15 millimetres. Over the tablelands to Illawarra, up to 30 millimetres tumbled down from that system that produced the flooding rains over Sydney throughout this afternoon, with a couple of serious storms embedded in that system. It's been a story of big rain right across the northern tropics as we have a deep, intense low skimming along the Pilbara coast. That's wanting to become a cyclone. So big falls continuing throughout Western Australia and right across the northern tropics. We may see another cyclone form in the Gulf of Carpentaria, but along the entire east coast, we're going to see moist onshore winds, cloud cover, showers and cooler conditions. But the heat is going to dive south now for Melbourne, back up and over 40 degrees for Adelaide. The centre still scorching hot. The Golden West 27 on the way. Big falls from Broome to Darwin. The showers extending north to Brisbane, and Sydney is going to see a shower or two continue as well. There's those moist easterlies pushing over the tablelands and doing battle with that big pool of heat that's going to drive it further inland and give us another day of reprieve. Drizzle patches to the south, very small numbers around the ACT. We'll see the shower activity continue across the southern tablelands and throughout the Illawarra. So it is going to be a little wetter off to the north as we move south. Only one or two brief showers, morning fog patches on the way for Cooma, but it is going to be warmer throughout today. For the capital, tops of about 26, and we've got a cooler night on the way. That's certainly going to be welcome. Make the most of it, enjoy it. Down to about 15 degrees right across the surrounding suburbs overnight tonight, and most locations maxing out at around 26 for your Wednesday. Out on the waters, it is going to be somewhat messy. The swell has risen to about 2 metres, and it is going to be choppy with the seas up to 2.5 metres with those very strong gusty onshore winds at times. Tomorrow morning's high tide's about 6:52 and the low at 1:40. Sun to rise 6:24, down at 8. A beautiful moon phase on our hands at the moment, headed towards the next full moon, and we'll see it because the cloud cover is going to burn off as the heat rolls back in across the capital for the weekend. The next change is going to come through during the early part of next week, dropping temperatures for the southern tablelands. Along the coast, it's a similar story. Cloud cover breaking up, heating up with those northwesterlies set to return. It is going to be a very hot weekend. The next change pushing up the coast Sunday into Monday, and it's the same for the south coast from Bateman's Bay to the border. I'll be back again for a close look at all of your local weather details. It's all coming up same time tomorrow night. I'll see you then.
And that's 9 News for this Tuesday. Tracy is next with a current affair. I'm Vanessa O'Hanlon. Have a great evening. Good night.